I have some exciting news to share, and today I'm going to talk about the reactivation of latent viruses. Hey, I'm Dr. Patty Barch. I'm a traditional naturopath, founder and owner of Naturally Unbridled Wellness and naturallyunbridled.com, where we focus on wellness solutions, not disease management. Block in the sun. This is Down the Road with Dr. Patty. This is not medical advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. Nothing I say is true. Don't listen to me. Okay, so let's start with some good news. We are super excited to announce that we have hired 2 new technicians for the office. One starts on Monday and one starts at the end of the month. We're very excited, and I will give you more information about that, but my team is tickled. We have been working like maniacs. It's been crazy busy. And we're really excited to add these new people to our team. And so I'll fill you in more on them as we get closer. Okay. I wanted to talk about reactivation of latent viruses, meaning I'll call them sleeping viruses. So these are viruses that got into your body, ran their course, as people like to say, and then they go into dormancy, meaning they stay in your body, but your immune system, for the most part, is keeping them suppressed. Because when you got the virus the first time, your immune system, what they call, mounted a response to the virus, created antibodies against it, and beat it into submission. But it doesn't go away. And now we're most familiar with cold sores, right? So cold sores are little blisters that people get usually on their mouth, on their lips. You can get them in the nose. You can get them in other places. That's a herpes simplex virus. There's a lot of different herpes viruses that can cause different presentations or expressions, but in general they kind of operate the same way. They very much involve a nerve, and they just looking at the birds, and they can cause an expression or presentation, or you can call it infection, and then they go back to submission until there's another let's say trauma to the nervous system, right? Something that impacts the nervous system, so that the immune system. So something that, I'm so cold. Oh, I got my seat heater on. Something that suppresses the immune system so that this latent virus goes, they're not looking, let's go. And then they come out for an outbreak. So 2 of the most common reactivation of latent viruses include shingles, which is a reactivation of the herpes zoster virus, which causes chickenpox, and Epstein-Barr virus, which is a virus that can cause like chronic fatigue and that sort of thing. So we saw so many cases of shingles after the rollout of the injections in 2021, because those injections were assaulting the immune system to such a level that latent viruses came out like crazy. So people understood that what shingles was, because if you're not familiar with shingles, it's a really interesting presentation. Shingles is the reactivation of the herpes zoster virus following a nerve pathway. So where we often see shingles is like the trigeminal nerve or in the face. So you'll see people with like red sore blisters on the face, sometimes going into the eye, which can cause blindness, so it's very concerning. I think more often we'll see it on the trunk, stemming from the spine and then moving around what's called dermatomes on the trunk or the torso. interesting way to diagnose shingles is it only occurs on one side of the body. It doesn't cross the midline. So if you have a rash that is crossing the midline, so crosses the belly button or the nose, it's not shingles. So that's kind of a fascinating thing. But shingles, because it causes massive amounts of inflammation in the nerves, it's extremely excruciatingly painful. And there's even something called post-herpetic neuralgia, which is once the shingles has gone away, you still have the nerve pain. And I've had clients that have had shingles on their head. The shingles, blisters, rash goes away, but those nerves remain extremely sensitive and tender, so that even if their hair blows, it's just super painful. Thankfully, natural health professionals have a variety of resources at hand to help the body to recover from this. And I mean, I have homeopathic remedies, but there are also things like oregano oil, or which do not put that topically ever on, especially on shingles. You will probably pass out from the pain. Vitamin A, again, very helpful in a lot of cases like this. The amino acid lysine is well documented in scientific literature to help suppress herpes outbreaks. So whether it's cold sores, shingles, genital herpes, etc., lysine can be really helpful. And then I just want to talk quick about reactivated Epstein-Barr virus, which probably goes undetected more than it goes detected, and it leads to something called chronic fatigue syndrome, which is just the person has incapacitating fatigue. And of course there's a spectrum of how this is going to present, but the most impacted people can often be like couch bound or bed bound. They just have no energy at all. Definitely some impacts on the mitochondria energy centers of the cell. And I believe that a lot of people who have reactivated Epstein-Barr may have been misdiagnosed as having long COVID. Yeah. There's also, I think there's some injection issues that may be resulting in symptoms that are being called long COVID. But my guess is that it's either from the injection or it's probably reactivated Epstein-Barr in a lot of cases, of course not in every case. And so these are the types of cases that natural health professionals can work with all the time. Yeah, it's, nobody wants to turn a virus back on, but there are ways to do it. Just really interesting sidebar. So the chickenpox vaccine that is given mostly to children is a modified live vaccine. So they give them a small dose of a beat up virus, and these children that have been inoculated with this actually can shed or spread live virus. So I believe, opinion, observation, when I was a kid, the only people who got shingles were really the elderly or severely infirm, really unhealthy people with really no immune system. But now we see, like, I got shingles when I was 32, super stressed out and teaching high school. And what was I going to say about that? So I think you see shingles in teenagers now. Okay. So I think, when I was younger, before the chickenpox vaccine existed, we never saw shingles in healthy young people. But now, since the chickenpox vaccine came on the market, we see shingles in really young people. And remember, shingles is the reactivation of the chickenpox virus. So, something to think about. All right, peace out, peeps. Have a healthy day and make healthy choices.